Hello, good morning. This is A Pup in the Life. Welcome back to A Pup in the Life. This is a bit of a uh, not so good pup in the life since mom is not feeling very well. It's been some time already, but yeah, we try to do our best. So, in the pup in the life of today, after a long weekend of thoughts and and feelings about how things are going and how to make them work better, and in the end, like last match of mom's favorite soccer team, we found out that in the end there is only one problem that you're trying to solve at once. There is one single, I'm very surprised that this thing is not as advertised as it should be. There is only one thing that you are actually worrying about or need to worry about. There's just one thing that is a real roadblock and you need to solve it. And usually in startups, we tend to think that the roadblock is the actual um, for example, funding, no? Oh my God, if I had more money, okay, I will solve all my problems. Well, that's not sure. Okay. Um, it's actually something that maybe it's true because once you buy money, you buy time. But in fact, it's not always the problem. And so if you think about it, especially if you already have raised money for your startup, you know that potentially you might have a problem that is solvable with money, but potentially you might have a skill problem. And as we said already in this podcast, you already have a theory and a practical one that all problems in startups are human resources problems. So human capital, human, a people, a talent problem. And yes, if you're listening to this Pop in the Life, we are on the sofa because it's raining again. And we're resting a bit while working on the sofa today. So, for example, at Brandplane, mom's company, the problem is a talent problem. They realized that they needed somebody more talented. They needed somebody that was working in another sector, in another industry, in another, had a different experience than the people they picked before in some of the areas of the company. And that is totally normal. Totally normal life in companies. What you're trying to do with raising money is actually buying time to be able not to have this problem any longer, or like to stay with the problem and not actually solve it. So if your problem is sales, is more leads, now you take your phone, you bring your computer, you buy LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's 1K a year, fuck's sake, you can do it, and you try to solve the problem, which is what they're trying to do at Brandplane. And so, especially as a CEO, as a co-founder, there's just one single thing for which you can be, worried about. Yeah, it can be the thing that you need to solve. Like there is just one single thing, and in the end, mom passes many times, actually much time. Maybe like tonight, she dreamt a lot about the company itself and whatnot. But in all honesty, there is just one single thing that needs to be solved, and the actions that you need to take are the actions that took you from 0 to 1 to go from 1 to 2. This is what it is. There's not more of that, and it's not romantic. I'm sorry. It's not a hack. It's not a solution. But try to, create and review the most scenarios you can, and try and understand why are the scenarios something that are gonna, present at some point a problem, and you realize that in the majority of cases, usually 70 to 80% of cases, you will have the same problem to be solved. So imagine that your problem, I don't know, is that you're actually paying somebody too much. And in the end, you realize you're paying people too much because it can happen. And you realize that no matter the amount of clients you get, especially if you don't run a software business, that problem is going to scale higher and higher and higher. How about maybe, you have a sales problem. You can have your problem is solved by actually making more sales. And I'm sorry if this sounds very stupid, but the solution is not buying money or buying time, is actually doing the thing. And why do you think we're telling all of that? Well, because we're living through a moment of lots of learning. I'm playing, we need salespeople. We need very good salespeople, experienced salespeople, and that's where we're trying to get. So yeah, I mean, the issue with this is that, it's very hard for you to stay focused just on one single thing that doesn't look right, that doesn't feel right, and that moment, just takes your attention, and makes you distracted about anything, basically. But the problem is that, in all honesty, that is just taking away time from you to actually being able to solve the freaking problem. So that is that. So yeah, please go and solve the unique problem you have. It's gonna take fucking time, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it. Now, I hope you don't have a problem to solve, but in the end, it's not credible, is it? So I will send you kisses, hugs, and a bit of barks, and lots of good luck and good work to solve your own fucking problem. So then you can move on to the next problem. Such is life. Bye.